I'm sure. Good afternoon, Saturday afternoon. And if you're watching the recording, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whenever. So today I thought I would just go over my musings of how I perceive our ultimate detox to be going moving forward. So I've been doing a lot of thinking over the last few weeks. As you probably remember, we did a bit of promotion, not a lot, but a bit of promotion about getting more people into the ultimate detox. And although we've had a few joining, it's really not enough. To be honest, it's not enough to create a really good buzz in the group, because although you wonderful people do sort of express how you're going and all of that sort of stuff, I have a feeling we need more. So I'll just explain what's been going on for me. And so, because it's all about me. No, not really. So I'm just going to go over what I'm feeling and thinking, and then you can have your say. I'd love for you, any questions you have, please write it down, because I don't want you to forget. Right. So as you know, we've been running the Ultimate Detox for the last 2 years, and we've been having amazing successes with all you lovely beings, and I've loved every single minute, and I still will love every single minute of it. So things are going to change a little bit, and the reason is as you've probably been aware, is although I've been running the Ultimate Detox and been running lots of other things, I've also been doing consultation work with clients. And I'm just going to take you back into my career when in the 1990s, hello Julia, in the 1990s, I ran a clinic in London which dealt with incurable diseases. And we had incredible success rates, so much so that people used to travel from all over the world to come and see us and do programs with us, from Nigeria, from America, from Europe, from Scotland, from everywhere. And in actual fact, I think we had a couple of clients from Australia, but that I don't know whether they came over for that. But basically, we had people come all over the world, and it was wonderful to see results. But the toll it took on my health was huge. And so basically, after 2.5 years of dealing with incurable people, I decided to take a step back. And then I went into normal clinical practice. And as you know, I used to have chronic fatigue before I came into this business, and I felt myself going into the chronic fatigue again. And so rolling on to this year, the last year has been probably the busiest I've ever been. And I basically felt that doing one-on-one not programs, but consultations and everything else has just taken a lot of toll. So this week, actually, I've had almost a week off, which is actually wonderful because I feel amazing now. But the thing is, and the electricity going off was a big component of that. And so the universe looking after me. So basically, I decided before this week that I was going to cut off my diary and not take any new clients one-on-one, because I felt that the knowledge I've gained over this amount of time, 30 plus years of learning, of sharing, of experiencing, was better put to use in group settings. And also, I really want to put all my energy into Ultimate Detox and food and frequencies. And because you guys deserve my attention. And I love it. I love the results we've been getting. I love the fact that most of the time we're working on preventative rather than actual illness per se. Saying that, we do get people who are dealing with certain diagnoses and everything else, but basically, if we can work where we're from and just keep on moving our health to be better. So the better it gets, the better it gets, which is actually one of the reasons why Deb Brock-Evans and I have decided to start Food and Frequencies anyway, because we wanted to get the word out to more people to be able to access and realize that natural health has a huge part to play in the well-being of our communities. And also, we wanted to start in-person communities as well. So this is a really small part of quite a big picture. We're envisaging quite a big picture. So we're going to start from how I perceive it, starting from me, is you guys, because you've been in my sphere for a while, and Julia has been in my sphere for quite some time. And I think those on the call have been with me for the last 6 months anyway. And so I really would love your input and everything else, and make sure I'm explaining this well. So what I've decided, like we said in the last call up, that we're extending the ultimate detox to an 18-week process rather than a 12-week process at no extra cost. And I think that's going to be hugely beneficial, because then you can start, once you're out of the detoxification phase, then you can start with the introductory phase as and when you choose. And so I'm going to be providing sort of 6 more videos for you to access. And also, because I've been talking to Patsy and Ray, of course, and we've decided that we're going to separate the mindset from the physical stuff. I mean, mine does mindset as well, but it's very different from what they do. So we've decided to sort of separate them. And so that gives me the autonomy to be able to offer the ultimate detox at a very different rate to what we were offering in the past. And so we are now going to be doing the ultimate detox for a substantially, in actual fact, it's just under cost of what we're doing it. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want more people to join. And the reason, and it has to be with people who have joined the Food and Frequencies network. And you may go, why on earth are you doing that? And the reason is, I want more people to join us and to get the benefits. I also want more people to be able to get the knowledge base that lots of different practitioners can bring. So we've got a lot of people waiting in the wings, wanting to share their information and their courses and their knowledge with you guys. And so the Food and Frequencies is $22 a month, and we're going to keep it at that price. We were thinking of doing the $22 as an introductory, but what we're doing is we're going to go $22, and that's the monthly payment. As long as we can keep going with that. And then if you choose to get the new lot of Ultimate Detox, it's going to be $97 a month for 6 months. But that will include your products for the 18 weeks. So it's very exciting, actually, because I think that you're going to get so much more of it. So basically, it's going to be for the same cost as you would be normally doing for the membership only. So the information and everything else. And so does that make sense? Anyone got any questions so far? You're bound to have, really. Unmute yourself if you have and shout out. Keely.
So those of us that have already taken out memberships, will they just flip over to the new scheme?
Yes.
Or will we have to cancel them and start a new subscription?
You can just keep on with the original.
Okay.
Unless you wanted to take $3 off, and then we can do a new one. So it's whatever. Whatever.
No,
so yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah, I just
you're,
wasn't sure whether your system
yeah.
would talk to each other like that.
And also, if you have joined, and I think Borrelia might be, who's on the call, might be one of those, but also anyone else who's watching this, if you have joined without the products, and I think it was $497, if you pay the $200 difference, it's not quite $200 difference, then you will get the products. So basically, I'm making it so that it's so easy to get the products that you won't, it's a no-brainer, basically. So the reason is I want you to get the best results possible, so you don't have to go around. Also, I'm going to be teaching in the food and frequencies, I'm going to be teaching you how to make things as well. So how to make herbal products, how to make homeopathics, how to make essences, and various different things. So, and then of course we're going to have other wonderful teachers who are going to be able to teach you how to make other things as well, like facial products and things like that. And so it's, for me, it's just empowering you if you choose to make your own products. And also, we're also making a shout out for anyone who would like to be a facilitator in your local group. So, for example, Sarah, for you down there, if you wanted to have a in-person group. So the in-person groups for food and frequencies is to gather people together who want to know more about food, who want to share their recipes. Like you have been in, if you've been a member of the Carnivore Detox, everyone's been sharing recipes and sharing what's been going on with them, and that's what we're wanting to do with food and frequencies, but also be able to share knowledge of where you can get good food, where you can get knowledge about various different things. So we're going to be sort of going into, right, okay, your local butcher, do they do packages for carnivore? Or if you're not carnivore and you're low inflammatory, where to get good quality vegetables and that sort of thing from. So it's going to be quite expansive. So I'm not going into too much detail here because we're really we're putting everything together. So basically we're hoping to launch the end of July, beginning of August. We haven't got a date yet because we're actually consulting with astrological experts and numerology experts to give us a good date to get started. And also, it's quite some technical stuff to get going. Hello, Susan.
Hi, how do you, I was putting up my hand like the teacher. How do you see the interface between the two groups?
Good question. So how I'm planning is I'm planning on amalgamating the two groups on Facebook, but we will be having separate Q&A for Ultimate Detox and the food and frequencies.
Okay, so you wouldn't, I suppose the question is, if we're paying for the Ultimate Detox, are we getting the other one included?
No, because it's $97 a month, you know, for 6 months.
No, I'm just sort of, I'm not saying you should be, but if you're amalgamating the Facebook groups, then we're going to be, how are they going to be different?
They won't. You'll be getting the information and everything on your membership portal the same, and we're going to be getting a lot more information on there, and so really.
So what extra are you getting for the food and frequency if you're paying for both?
You're paying $22 a month for food and frequencies, where you will be getting every month there'll be a new course or a new demo. Each week there's going to be a live call, which will either we'll be interviewing a guest, or we'll be a therapist will be telling their experiences and sharing some wonderful knowledge, and so various different things for the food and frequencies. And also we'll be
so that won't be on the Facebook page.
Oh yeah.
But you said you were amalgamating the two.
No, we have a membership group for that too. So we're trying to look for other alternatives to Facebook, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm just a bit confused by you sort of end up being members of half a dozen different things, all with.
It's only going to be 2. That's why we're doing it.
Okay.
So it's going to be
Yeah, no,
one
just-
Facebook group, and there's going to be 2. Thank you for this question, Susan. It's really good. And there's going to be 2 membership portals. So there'll be the and this is how I think it's going to work. So I have to ask Deb, because she's the technical whiz. Is we'll have the food and frequency portal, and you will have access to Ultimate Detox through that. So you can just click on as a member.
Okay.
So the deal for Ultimate Detox at 97 a month for 6 months is only going to be available to members of the food and frequencies.
Okay, so you're going to have to be paying 120 odd a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's fine. And you were saying that you'd like a whole big group to start at once so that you can be at similar stages.
I was hoping for that, Susan, but it didn't happen, did it?
No. Well, the issue I've got is I'm going away for 4 months, and it's probably pretty silly for me to think that I'm going to be totally engaged in
No, you want to enjoy
whatever.
that time. That's for
So,
sure.
I mean, I'd be really interested in sort of going into it when I come back.
Come back. Yeah, sure. I mean, you could. I don't know if
Is there
you.
a pause function? You know, if somebody is dedicated and joins, but has, for whatever life happens, has to pause, is that an option?
Not for the 97, because otherwise I'm not going to get paid for even under, so the cost part, and that's an important. I don't want to go bankrupt, I want to be able to still sustain but once you've got through your 6 months and you decide you want to pause, then you can start again whenever, or not. You can carry on with food and frequencies if you choose. The thing is, you can always cancel membership, after an initial after the 6 month period, because it's an important component that I think also the reason I think it would be so good for people to have 6 months access to food and frequency, especially once we really start rolling, is to see the benefit of it.
So the 6 months is more of a commitment thing.
Yeah.
Rather than a limit. Okay, yep.
And the other question was, how does the QuantiCat fit into this?
The QuantiCat will not fit into that. If you're on my original QuantiCat list, I'll still continue doing your frequencies, but I won't be taking any new ones.
Okay.
But we will be offering. So this is what we would like to do. If we get enough members on food and frequency, we would like to be able to offer the facilitators of the groups training on the Genius and help them to be able to afford to buy a Genius, so that they then can treat the members of their local group. So basically we would like people to be able, so it's food and frequencies for a reason. It's not just the Genius, though. There's lots of other things that we're going to be talking about with frequencies, but because we know it's such a good tool. And so basically anyone who's a facilitator or a practitioner who would like to do the Genius in the local areas, we will definitely be working on supporting them. So the object for me is to get the knowledge out there in a way that basically people will know that we're basically making sure the information that we have found is valid and been checked as far as we can. And so I know more or less what works and what doesn't with many things, but I'm not an expert in everything. I don't pretend to be. But I think, if we can get experts in the field, and that's what we're planning. We've got a few people that we're talking to about being on a panel on a monthly basis, so we can go through different things, who have different opinions on it as well.
Yeah, it's very complicated.
Debate.
There's lots of rabbit holes when you start
There is
getting down into them.
Yeah, so many rabbit holes. So I've been emailing a quite well-known carnivore expert, so hopefully we'll get him on. So that'd be cool. So
Yeah.
yeah. So it's great to have different people and to really share the love. And so that's the object for me, really, is to really help people help themselves. So we're going to be going over things like water and how to get really good quality water. I don't know if you know that borax, we've talked about boron and borax. Borax actually can help remove fluoride from the water. And so we're going to be finding out ways of how you do that and that sort of thing. So it's like real down to earth, easy to do things, just a bit like we've been doing with the Ultimate Detox, but a bit more, more varied, different modalities and very, very different, spreading the love, really.
So would you say, Karen, that the food and frequencies is basically a gathering place for us after we've done that initial, either the 12 or the 18? Is that the case?
If people choose to, I think, because not everyone chooses to do a detox, hey, but the not many people know that I designed the Ultimate Detox to help remove the toxins of the vaccine. So whether it's from shedding or whether it's from the vaccine or the boosters, and that's why I've been updating the formulas all the time, because we're always updating of toxins we're finding. And so that's the reason, and that's the reason why now I think we need to get it out to as many people as possible, because I think the new way of being is not about making loads and loads of money. Never has been for me, really. But basically, because I have been so busy, I'm able to offer this for a period of time. And I'd rather put back into society than just be taking.
Okay, because I think I was looking at it from the point of view that once you have done it and you know what you're doing because you've got the skills now from having done it, then you wouldn't necessarily stay doing that because you'd know it.
Yeah,
and
you
so
don't
you'd
have
go
to.
into the next the next group and still be a part of it and still have all the tips and everything like that. And yeah, but still having gained those skills, you can do it at any time you like after that, can't you, basically?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I think, that's a really great way of thinking. I think the thing is we want people to join the food and frequencies no matter where they're at. So there's quite a few people from the carnivore detox who have joined, and they will probably want to do the Ultimate Detox now that we're offering it at a price that they can justify and afford. And so
Yeah, because I think for me that's one thing that I sort of wondered about too, is just sort of being adrift and not sort of being anywhere after being here and enjoying being part of the group and getting to know the people, and then sort of being cut adrift and sort of thinking, well, how can we keep that contact?
yeah, we definitely don't want you cutting adrift. That's what we don't want to do. So keeping everyone together, I think, is a really good way of putting it, and also meeting up physically. So getting the local physical groups, but also we're aiming at having bigger groups so we can come together, say the whole of Northland, or from Auckland, and have a central place where we can all meet, say like the Skyliner, or up in the Brindowins and stuff like that. So I think it'd be really cool. Or maybe we come down a bit further to your neck of the woods, Sari. We're actually our second. So the first phase of food and frequencies is basically we're going to be introducing the online portal, and we're actually approaching some sponsors to help us get the word out a bit more, and also so we're planning on doing that. And then the second phase is Deb and I will be doing a tour, and we're going to ask the local people to come, so for example, just using you, Sarah, because I know you've expressed an interest in maybe having a group, is we'll get you to do a talk and stuff like that. And I know others have expressed an interest too, so we can get you. Also, we want to include some music in it, or sounds, or singing bowls, or whatever, to be part of the whole thing, because let's face it, sound music is part of frequencies, and I think, you know, it's also got to be fun. You know, the food and frequencies is designed to be fun and making health fun, and because life is meant to be fun, you know, we're not supposed to be having awesome. That's cool, Julia. That'd be great, because you're already a genius practitioner, aren't you? So yeah, so that'd be really cool. So it's yeah, I've talked enough, really. I just want to know what you guys think. So can I go around the room and see what's coming into your head? Keely, what's in your head? What's coming up for you?
Probably for me, it's the best place to introduce new people into. Is it food and frequencies to begin with?
Think so.
Yes. Okay.
So we'll do lots of introductory videos and things that would be available, you know, so people can see. So
And for a newbie, and how much is that going to cost them per month? Or is that the
22.
same as us?
Food and
Okay,
frequencies will be 22
cool. Okay.
and a month. And then if they decide to join the Ultimate Detox, you add another 97 onto that.
For their first 6 months.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. Thank you.
So it's just to make it easy, you know.
Yeah.
And we will have we will have an easy accessible page where people can click or not click, as the case may be. At the moment we haven't got that because it's me that's organizing it, but Deb will have it soon. So I've got links and stuff for it and for people who want to join now, which was lovely. And later on we'll have it automated and it'll be all pretty and well done, which is what mine isn't. Yeah.
And I think for me also, that knowing that behind the scenes, you know, whatever we've joined to at the moment, it's just going to flip over.
Yeah. So what we will do is I think this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to have a new food and frequencies group, and I'll invite everyone who's members currently, rather than, because it's got a bit messy in the Ultimate Detox, so much stuff there. So we want to sort of really make it so it's nice and easy to find things. And I will try, because I haven't got to be so busy. I'll be able to actually put the recipes and things in a book, and I'll be able, and a folder where you can access things easily. So when we get a new recipe, we can put it in, because I'll be able to do that. Or if I'm too busy, then we'll be able to get someone to do it. So I'll allocate people. So, yeah. Okay. Wonderful. Susan, did you want to say something?
Oh, yeah, I was, I'm not sure what other people think, but when I found it really helpful when I started with the diaries and things, but I got sort of several different versions of things, I don't know how, from different spots and different times. And I much preferred the one that had sort of less space for each day. That having a page for each day was more than I needed. That's just me personally, but I just found it easier to have almost sort of a week on 2 pages and just jot down a few things.
So what we could do is we can
but
go.
that's just me. I mean, let other people have a say as well.
Well, I think we'll have 2 versions, because there's people who like writing down what they're thinking, and what we can just say, look, this is the full page version. This is just like when you buy a diary.
Yeah, you can have a different one. That sounds perfect.
So I think
maybe
we'll do that.
when you start, you like to start with one, but I found particularly as I got further down, I just wanted to write things that may have been different. You know, if I was feeling different about something, or I'd eaten something different. The other thing was the QuantiCap thing aside, that how do we keep hooking into that?
You just keep on doing your voice recording and I'll send it to you.
Okay. I mean, I'm really keen as soon as I get back to get right back into it, and I've already joined the other
Excellent.
group.
That's cool. So you just click on the link when you're ready to do anything, and then we do it. Just
Okay,
when you get back, we'll be on a roll.
you'll be on a roll. Well, I'll be watching and being with with the internet, you can keep an eye on things from afar anyway.
Yeah,
But,
that's great. So when do you leave, Susan?
Oh, Tuesday. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I was just thinking it'd be really nice to have some frequencies for the flight.
Absolutely. So
Yeah,
definitely remember, if you can do
So
that on Monday, and remind me as in a message
yeah, I will. Yeah.
that you need it for flying. Don't forget
Yeah.
your magnesium when you're flying, though. Every 2 hours you're awake. Do the magnesium when you're flying.
Okay, but there's a problem with that though, because it's in too big a bottle.
Decant it into this one.
Oh, you're way too practical, because I've already got my magnesium packed, but I put it in my big bag. But I've got another one that's got less in it, so I can maybe put something into.
Yeah, definitely. It makes all the difference. Whenever I've done long haul, and I've done that, I've never had jet lag.
Okay.
Is that the reason for that? Is that the reason for that, Karen? Because I was just going to say, why every 2 hours when flying?
Because of that, if you look at when we're flying, we get every 3 hours we get the equivalent of an X-ray of radiation, and magnesium can really help with that. So can iodine, but magnesium helps also with the relaxation of the muscles and tendons and stuff when we're sitting around. And believe it or not, we sweat a lot when we're flying. And I think it's probably the adrenal response. Going over time zones and things, it affects our equilibrium, and so it affects our energy body. Good question, Julia. Yeah.
Excellent. I think that's probably all for me. But yeah, just I know it's not the say something great that's happened, but I've had lots of compliments this week.
That's
in terms
cool.
of, hey, you're looking great, and I had a girlfriend that's busy telling me how she's almost cut out meat, and she's having problems with her knee, and she's looking like shit. And then she said, "Oh, what are you eating?" And I said, "Well, I'm just about eating only meat." And she said, "How are you feeling on that?" And I was like, "I feel great. I feel really great."
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? Yeah. Yes, that's good. That's really good. So
we are so tuned into not wanting to eat fat and things, so that it's just, we've had so many years of cut off the fat and only a little bit of butter, and even though I'm busy eating or picking all the fat and eating the heaps of butter and stuff, I still find myself thinking I shouldn't be.
yeah, that takes a long time to overcome that one, Susan. Honestly, it really does. And it's like, oh well, that's a lot of years of indoctrination that we have to overcome, and bombarding of information.
Oh, only 50.
Only 50. That's a lot of years, isn't it? Yeah, to overcome. So you're doing well, really, if you think about it. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, we've also had a bit of a shock. We've got one of our best friends, well, his wife is in her early 70s, and she's heading right down the dementia road, and it's really scary. And the husband's really well informed and is pretty much a carnivore, but she's sort of passed just in the last 6 months. She's just given up trying anything, and it's just, you just don't want to go there.
Well, that's sad. Yeah, because she's in the middle, so she's not quite in the, because a lot of people with dementia don't go through a malleable stage where they actually just, unless they're on medication, so they can get a bit angry.
Yeah. And then in the dementia road sort of thing, I've got a girlfriend, the same one that's eating mainly vegetarian. Her mother had dementia and she was in her 80s, and she was saying that most of the people in the ward were in their 70s. And I was sort of thinking that really fits in with the change in diet that we've all had, all the seed oils and the don't eat butter and all that sort of
There's been
stuff. It's sort of
huge amount of early dementia over the last 3 years. It's gone, the stats of that have gone up incrementally, and it's starting at 30. That is never been heard of before.
Well, it's a bit like diabetes, which is coming down 10 years every generation.
Yeah.
So,
And that's, yeah, I think, we're getting diabetes type 2.
well, they're
in
talking about
teens.
dementia being type 3 diabetes,
Yeah,
don't they,
yeah.
sometimes? So anyway,
Oh,
I'll shut up.
definitely, it's a blood sugar thing. Definitely. So, yeah. Okay. So,
Thank you.
thank you very much, Susan. Pam, not Pamela.
Thought I was getting a growling just then. I only get called Pamela when I'm naughty.
Sorry. I said, yeah, I don't know why.
The only other thing really I can think of, apart from what I was talking about before, is will we still have access to the Facebook group, or will that be gone too? Just resource wise, it would be quite handy, you see. So I don't know if you've thought
Keep
on that.
open, because what I'll do is I'll just I won't cancel it. I'll just pause it so you can still go in.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, so no one can get in it, as in new people, but you
Yeah.
can go. That's a good idea, Pam. Thank you for that. Because yeah, so definitely, because you've got all your stuff, all the things you've heard people talk about, and everything else.
Yeah.
In there.
Yeah, it's
Some of the
great.
stuff I will transfer over. And you can always transfer it over too. If you can't, you can just say, Karen, can you transfer this? And
Sure.
so, so if you think that people should know, then definitely do that. And as I say, this is teamwork. So this is your buzz, this one. It's about what's right for you guys. And if it's right for you guys, it's going to be right for everyone else who wants to play, eh? So,
Great. Thank you.
lovely, Pam. Thank you. Sarah.
Hello. So the Food and Frequencies is a learning place.
Yeah.
Is that right? So it's a place where we're going to have workshops and learn and teach and sponge. And the Ultimate Detox is doing the changing way of eating to detox from various things. I guess one of the key things I have felt recently, and I know a lot of people I've spoken to in these groups as well as in other parts of my life, everyone's feeling really overwhelmed about everything.
Yeah.
There's just too much to remember.
Yeah.
And I thought about you this week as well, and the universe looking after you, because you need to remember what you said on which Zoom and how many Zooms are we having, and it's not just these groups, it's lots of
we have been thinking about this. Is one of the reasons we wanted to put this together, really, because the bombardment of information, and also not knowing what's real, what's true. It's like, Susan was talking about her friend who's on a nearly sort of a plant-based diet, and people are pushing that, and yet so many people in the carnivore space, and there's hundreds of us who have been down the plant-based route. We've done it well. We've done it with supposedly good nutrition, yet we came out of it much worse off than we started. And it wasn't as if we didn't give it a good try. And so consequently, that's where, but so many people are going down that route now, thinking that they're going to make themselves healthy. And maybe 1 out of 100 will. But unfortunately, most of us won't. And I'm not saying carnivore is the be all and end all, because we don't know. But I do know it's a really good way as an exclusion diet for finding out what's your ideal food. And so that's, I think, I agree with you, Sarah. I think we need to keep it really simple and really on point. And so what we're going to do is we're going to probably have monthly topics. So we might have a topic about the liver, for example, and then have lots of information about that. So it's really simple, and it'll be laid out really simply too, so it's not overwhelming for anyone.
Mm.
So whether it's a practitioner working with us or whether it's a, member or whatever, is to keep it simple as possible. Yeah.
Easy to find things. Also, and Susan sort of slightly touched on it, there's quite a few different versions of everything.
Yeah.
It would be really lovely to have one low inflammation food list and one carnivore food list.
Yeah.
And also, while I'm thinking about it, if we could suggest all the supplements that you do recommend, I think there's a lot of people who don't realize they're not all for everyone. Like,
They're not. Yeah.
So I think quite often that gets lost in translation, and it'd be neat if there was a document on this new food and frequency where each of the supplements and maybe suggested brands, because it took a long time for me to realize that some brands put really bad shit in there.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a really good idea, and that's what we're actually.
Vitamin D is the same.
We're also going to try and bring along some suppliers of products to talk about their products. And so like Homegrown Primal, for example, I'm trying to get them to come along and talk to us about their products and why and how they came about. And you can also ask questions of them, because I think it's a really important thing that all of us have transparency so that everyone knows what is in something.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the same with everyone who we actually decide or ask to work with us in Food and Frequencies. It'll be because we've asked the tough questions in many respects, is what do you put in, or what do you do? And so basically it's a bit of investigation into everyone in a way.
Yeah.
And then you guys can know that we've done our due diligence, and you can do yours, and then we can come together. So that's the really important thing. And so thank you for that. Yes, I will definitely do that with products and things, is I'll put and on what they're for.
Yeah.
Because not everyone needs to take iodine, and not everyone needs to do fill in the blank, really.
Yeah.
I thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks, Sarah.
No worries.
Really awesome. Borrelia, if you're able to talk, I'm not sure if you are. Doesn't look like it. Okay. Julia. Hello, gorgeous.
Hi.
Haven't heard your dulcet tones for quite some time.
I know. It's what Sarah was saying, just digital overwhelm. I'm just over it. I've had enough. I'm sick of joining groups. There's too many groups. There's too many people I love and want to support and feel like I need to comment or give them a love heart so it boosts the posts, and it's been overwhelming. So and I love you all. So if you're simplifying, I'm all for it. I'd always wanted our 5-day groups to basically sort of close off and finish, so they weren't left loitering, so we had to keep going back into them. I love everything that Pam was saying. And it is like I felt like we should be able to go, right, let's do the 12 weeks or whatever, how many weeks is. And then feel like at some point, I know, not like we've graduated, but it's like, all right, been there, done that, but I want to be a part of the community and keep going, and not keep lingering. And it's also one of my favorite things was when we first started, and we all at that point, it wasn't a bunch of you ladies, sorry, but we all started at the same time. So we're all in the same week, and we all went through similar things. A couple of people went through different things, but I mean, one of the things I always refer back to is I think like one of the weeks we all started decluttering our house and cleaning, which was not anything to do with losing weight, but things like that. So it was like we all went through this process together.
Yeah.
And I feel like that became a little odd then when, I don't know, maybe we were all still in the group and it might be like week 16 and somebody's on week 1 and somebody's on week 3 and somebody's on week 10. And if there's any way for us to maybe have that kick off so that everybody can be in the same weeks at certain points, that you go, all right, well, next August, we're going to kick off again, week 1, or I don't know, so that people can follow through. together, because there was a real bringing together of community when we did that first one, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't know how to do that, and because I tried for this week and it didn't work.
Well, maybe just like Julia just said, once, just twice a year, maybe go right. We're starting a new lot,
Yeah,
and so if people aren't ready for it, then they have to wait till the next date when you're starting a new lot. So that
Yeah, but sometimes you just go and do something else then.
Yeah.
Like when I was ready to start and I decided I wanted to be a carnivore, I wanted to start yesterday. I didn't want to wait 6 months or 4 months or.
Yeah, I think that's it, really. You know when you're ready, and it doesn't necessarily mean when the program starts. So yeah, I hear you.
I do get I understand the group thing as well. I really relate to that because I did another program and they used to have a group starting sort of every 2 months, and then when you'd finished that, you went into a graduate page. But it was a different sort of thing. I think with the carnivore is just so dramatic and such a big change. And once you've decided that plants are trying to kill you, you don't want to eat them anymore.
I thought of a new one. You can eat a cow or be a cow. Sorry to hijack your speech there, Julia. I just
Oh no, I'm done.
Something I felt was quite important.
Yeah, sorry, Julia.
Yeah,
No.
I feel like I keep pausing programs, and then I feel like I can't. I don't know where I am.
Yeah.
So it links into what you were just saying. Yeah.
But is it something where, and I mean, like Karen said, yes, it would be great. Don't know how. Is it something through conversation that we come up with a solution? So is it that you're part of that food and frequency community, and that has you start off in there, and that then there are these limited programs where we go through together?
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of people having days off in the beginning of their programs on this third round, I was like, what? That's not on the paperwork.
Yeah, it's not beneficial either. Yeah.
Yeah, but I love the idea of sorry, that's Ragnar. I love the idea of simplifying it all down.
Yeah.
Good.
So it will be simplified within the next few weeks, and so bear with me with the simplification. But we're still going to do our Monday call this Monday, and I'll go through a bit more. So each week we'll go through obviously what you're going through, but we will also go through what's happening, so you can ask me questions. You can ask me questions anyway, you normally do. So yeah.
So me.
Not always you. You're not the only question asker in here. There's
not anymore. I
bond.
I bond with those ones.
Yeah.
Actually,
Absolutely.
how do we change if we already joined up to the $20 a month? How do we change that to 22?
You can stay on the $20 a month. It's all good.
I really don't mind. I just
well, you can cancel the one you're on, and then I can send you the link. I'll put the links below this video anyway. So and it would be great if you're not a member, if you're watching this, if you're not a member of the food and frequencies, then please join. And if you have purchased recently, get in contact with me and we'll sort it out. Okay. Right. Okay, ladies, if there's no more questions, then thank you for joining me. It's been lovely as always. It's always nice to see you all. And please keep warm in your lovely snuggly jammies. It's really cool. Really cool.
Yeah.
Chilled.
I was just going to say, I quite like Julia's idea of maybe starting in the food and frequencies and then having, even if it's every month or 2 months, starting in the next one.
Yeah.
So you could sort of have, I don't know whether that would work, that you could have something that that people could start immediately, but start the detox thing properly a bit later. I don't know, just.
Yeah. Maybe what we could do is we can say, look, you can start on your products now, but what we're going to do is we'll have an official starting time as the 1st of August or something. Like,
just get a group together.
Yeah. group together, and so
Or
that
maybe
everyone
you
starts
could-
at 10.
Maybe you could throw up a 5-day one so that they get the boost of the 5-day one
Yeah,
and go from there, or do
Yeah.
a fast or something, you know, those are options.
yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, we can always do those as part of the food and frequencies, that's for sure. Yeah, we will be
Yeah.
doing those. And this, like we did the 72-hour fast thing that we did. And yes, we'll
I need
definitely
another one of
do-
those. I need
Eh?
another 72. I need another 72-hour fast.
You'll probably need that when you come back.
Maybe I can start it on the airplane and have a 48-hour one or something.
Yeah, it might not be a bad idea, as long as they've got good water.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to that, but yeah, I
All
can
right,
probably take a
lovely
steak
ladies.
on the plane.
I'm gonna have to go because I'm gonna do I'm doing another video at 4. So in
Thank you.
the other group. So
I was confused, Karen. So do I not have to do the next one if I was in this one? Because I was going, I don't know which one I'm supposed to go to.
well, you can join me, Julia. It'd be lovely if you want to join me, anyone. It would be great to continue.
So what's the one at 4? Is that the ultimate, the carnivore?
I'm just explaining what I've just explained to you, but slightly differently. You know.
Right. Okay.
Well, it probably won't be any different.
All right. Now.
Well, if it's all the same people, it's not going to be different, is it? But no, I'm just
It
teasing.
won't be. If it's all the same people, then I'll probably say, we'll see you on Monday, and I'll do a recording.
Okay, thanks. Hope it goes well.
Have a great trip.
Yeah, have a
Thank
fun
you.
time. If we don't see you on Monday, I don't think we will.
I'm not sure. I'll see how that goes, but I'll remember to get a recording in.
Yeah,
Thank
please
you.
do.
Be great.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye.